The Bombay Mothers and Children Welfare Society is very well established organization catering to the poor as well as the middle class people into the society. We have 3 hospitals, one urban in Mumbai and 2 rural hospitals. 3 creches in Mumbai in a different localities cater to more than 800 families year on year, looking after their development of their child as well as their physical well-being. We have 2 cancer patient convalescent home which help 114 patients every day to complete their chemotherapy and radiotherapy because stay in Mumbai is very costly. We give them the clean stay. Healthy food is cooked by the relatives into our kitchens and this helps them to complete the treatment. We started working holistically onto the community, leaving the main purpose of mother and child, and we have established now the hospitals for everybody with a modern amenities, and it is catering to more than lakh families per year. Then we started working into a rural area where we had a hospital in Rajguru Nagar, 4 acres of land and only a hospital in the corner was not a proper utilization of the spaces which community has created for the communities. So we established a rural development program in 90 villages in Rajguru Nagar. The RCH program of the government helped us to get a peep into the rural development, and there we realized that it's not about the money but it's about the thought process. And we went on establishing a very innovative programs in 92 villages catering to the 5 lakh people. The education system was absolutely in a bad shape. We started working onto an education and perceptive policy development. The policy was developed by looking at the ground realities and the easiness of the functioning. So we realized that if we make the picture hall of the theatre and the curriculum is projected onto the screens in an animated digitized manner, the schools will become full. Today we have 400 digital and solar schools catering to 40,000 children every year and changing their attitude towards the education. The parents have changed their behavior pattern. The behavioral change is the most difficult to achieve, but looking at the children's progress in the school, they have really been happy, and now they feel that yes, the change is there and their children can achieve what they never thought. The health system was also on a perceptive policy development. Everywhere the talk was of a telemedicine, and all the other technological interventions, but which was not possible at all with the lack of internet. So we started thinking that what basic needs that they need and which they don't get.
मावशी इथे कोणी गरोदर आहे परले पिल्ला काढा येऊ का गलीला हा कशी आहेस तू दाखव बरं मी तुमचं बीपी बघते आपण बघूयात काही हात घालत आहे याच्यामध्ये बाकी कसं चाललंय आपण जे तपासलंय ना त्याचा रिपोर्ट एकदम नॉर्मल आहे काही घाबरायचं कारण नाहीये फक्त अजून 15 दिवसांनी नेक्स्ट चेकअप साठी जा हॉस्पिटल.
We realized that expectant mothers had to travel kilometers together to a hospital for a checkup, and the communication, the commutation, everything was very bad. So we started giving an antenatal and postnatal care into the doorstep by doorstep matter into their village. The maternal mortality reduced, the children's health started improving, the vaccination reached to their villages, the blood examinations were also being done over there itself, and the results were communicated to them via phone. So all the things change, and now today we have a medical van going to all the villages once in a 15 days, catering to their small illnesses like fever, cold, and other things, explaining them how to maintain a child health by improving the nutrition. The cleanliness has been impressed upon them, and now the children even in the tribal area look completely different. You can't even recognize that these are tribals. The livelihood sector we entered, and because now the aspirational community, while children were getting educated, the parents were thinking that how to give the children the best. They wanted to invest into a child education, so they had to increase their income. So we started thinking on a livelihood. The livelihood will not come into an existence if you ask them to leave their labor. So it has to be a co-activity which they can do during their evening or morning free time. So quilt making, baby clothes stitching was thought of, and we started training them into a tailoring. Today we have trained 3,500 ladies in 92 villages, and they are working with making a baby clothes, or they are making the quilts, or even stitching the clothes for a household can save a lot of money for them. And this all has helped in livelihood. We have trained 3,500 young boys into an MSCIT, so they become capable to achieve any employment into the office. Their aspirations were increased, and now they will make their children educate. Mobile Computer Training Center is an innovative concept developed by Bombay Mothers and Children Welfare Society. Moving into Rajgurugana Taluka, realized that many tribal villages don't have the electricity, neither they have got the teachers to train the computers. So we decided to develop a computer van with 6 computers and a trainer in that. He takes the van to the school and teaches all the children in the school basic computing skills. In last 4 years, this van has trained 3,600 tribal kids in computer. Having a tribal person as a trainer has taken away the barrier of language that was a major concern for every teacher, and it has been very successful in training all tribal kids into a computer education. This is a This is the Anganwadi in tribal village. We are trying to make a difference to these children by reducing the urban-rural divide. This Anganwadi is going to be almost same as a Pudar International School or any other international school that you get in the cities. Ambience is going to make a huge difference to a thinking and the outlook of the parents and the children. This will be also on a digital platform so that they will learn the computers and the newer technologies very well. They will adopt to it, and this is going to make a huge difference into the entire education. We are in a Satarka Vasti Rajguru Nagar school, Jilla Parishad. This is one of the best Jilla Parishad schools in the taluka. This has got the waiting list and the buses fly from Rajguru Nagar 9 kilometers away for the Jilla Parishad school. We have built up 3 classrooms for this school to create a model education center in Jilla Parishad schools. So I decided to develop this into a model rural school. We built 3 classrooms for them. One has got 10 computers, printers and other accessories in computers where children will learn computers. One classroom is for the science laboratory and entire Atal Science Lab is established into this room. The third room which we have created, which is a very innovative thing into the schools, is a hobby room. We have all music instruments, a string instrument, a keyboard, a percussion instrument and the air blowing instruments, plus all sorts of static sports. So the children will create their own music. They will give a scope to develop their own likings into some kind of a skill. So this will be created as a model school into a taluka, and that's what we are looking at, to replicate it and scale up the whole thing. We have renovated about 30 schools in this area, all Jilla Parishad schools with a participation from the villagers. And another 50 schools will be done in next 2 years. So this is something which we expect children to take into a future of the future age, and this will change the entire picture of the nation. The rural teacher, Mr. Nagnath Vibhute, used the Alexa in a very innovative way. He put that Alexa in a mannequin, dressed her well, and asked the children to question the Alexa.
Alexa, how are you?
Couldn't be better. Oops. I mean better. The tongue twisters seem to have got my tongue.
Alexa, how many oceans are in the world?
There are 5 oceans.
Alexa, thank you.
And the change is happening. Children have started become talkative. They start asking the question to all their queries. And now we have given 40 schools Alexa, and it is changing the way children react to a newer people.
Alexa, how?
The pandemic was absolutely bad. It made us think in a different manner. Whatever we did was not of use as children were not able to come to the school. With efforts, we have brought tribal kids into a school. Now, they couldn't come to the school. They were restless. Education was not happening. So we have to change our thinking. And we started thinking in terms of tabs. Giving every tribal kid a tab was not possible. Almost about 1,500 children are there. Many targets cannot be achieved in a short term. So we thought of making a library of the tabs. And in a group of 5 children, we will give 1 tab. And on Ashadi Ekadashi, we handed over 50 tabs to a 30 tribal schools at the hands of Dr. Raghunath Mashelkar. And this was our program called as Gele Dayatse Rahuna. We had forgotten them. We have never taken them into a consideration while developing the schemes. Now, they are at the center of every possible developmental scheme that Bombay Mothers and Children Welfare Society does. That is the center point. From there on, it moves, and it is always good for the other peoples. We are in Kaman Thakarvasti, a tribal hamlet in Rajgurnagar Taluka. The recycled tires structured behind me is a playground. The children enjoy playing into this adventurous structure, climbing up, climbing down, going through it from one end and coming out from the other. We have made 20 these type of grounds into a tribal schools, and the children are really enjoying it. Adivasis born into the foothills of Sahyadri are born adventurous. Let them give something more to build upon that, and maybe we will get some good players out of them. I am visiting this village from 1986. Virtually every problem is existing into this village. They didn't have electricity, they didn't have water, and I wanted to do everything for them. But from where to start? So I thought of giving them water. The villagers came to me saying that they are ready to participate into the scheme. So we designed the scheme. They did entire labor work without any cost. We gave them the material and the water scheme was ready within 1 month. The contractor in the village constructed 8,000 tanks. We gave him the cost. And within 6 weeks' time, the water scheme was ready to serve almost 80 households within 100 foot of their houses, very close by. Now they are not losing their man days. They are working every day into the fields and they are earning as well as they are having the water with ease without having to carry it for meters and together. This is another innovative project by Bombay Mothers and Children Welfare Society. This project is called as reverse risk mitigation. Risk mitigation comes in the picture only when the calamities have occurred. This is the only risk mitigation which gives a ray of hope. These 5 fruit plants which we have given to every below poverty line family in their backyard, they own it. So they make an effort to survive it because they are going to get the income out of it. In case of a drought, when they don't get the labor, this is the only source of income that they can have. This also greens the earth quite well. 80% of the survival of the plant is absolutely assured. Namaste. I'm here in Alandi Phata Thakarvasti. These people came here to live somewhere around 2015 for the industrial work. High tension wires going above their houses, but they don't have the light, which was very paradoxical. We thought of giving them the light, and I feel very happy that today every house has got the solar panel and they have got a light in the house. And the smile that I can see on their faces is absolutely heartening.
2015 साली आम्ही इथे कडाचीवाडी ठाकरवाडीमधून इथे राहायला आलो. तेव्हा आमच्याकडे लाईट नव्हती आणि या संस्थेने आम्हाला रात्रीचा उजेड करून दिला.
Rural Development Program of Bombay Mothers and Children Welfare Society is full of innovation. One big innovation is a 4P program. करूया पण त्यांनी पंप दिला तर आपण पाईप देऊया, तुम्ही खड्डे खणा, ते आपण गाडूया. बाकीचं काम आपण करू शकतो. Usually we know public-private partnership, but here it's a participatory program by villagers, government schools, philanthropy and person. We have connected a person with the government school to improve the school. They are now solar and digital. 490 solar schools, 490 digital schools is the end result of this modern PPPP program. We are trying to get tribal people into a mainstream. But do you know that this organization was established in 1919 in a labor area of Mumbai to prevent mothers giving a fee to a child just to facilitate their work. This went on growing. Dr. Bapusaheb Maskar, the founder, established 2 hospitals and he promoted the hospital deliveries than the home deliveries. He succeeded and that reduced the maternal and the child mortality to a great extent. Today, the footing that he has created had made it easy for us to bring the organization upward and to come up to the stage that we are today.